Morning after pill. This is a time we must hear what God has to say to the church. God is giving us prayer strategies like never before. Things we are talking about in this book are the very causes of the hindrances in the church all across the world. This is to open the eyes of the church to realize there is much more going on in America than we all know about. Everything science discovers at first seems to be a good thing. I'm going to list a lot of facts for us to look at what America calls the morning after pill, and I call the abortion pill. What happens when a pill is created and women or even young girls can have sex and then take the pill after, and it will not allow the pregnancy? This gives young women a legal gun in their hands. The German Catholic Church allows morning after pill. The German Catholic Church allows morning after pill in rape cases. The emergency contraceptive morning after pill has 3 modes of action, as does the regular birth control pill. That is, it can work in one of 3 ways. The normal menstrual cycle is altered, delaying ovulation, or ovulation is inhibited, meaning the egg will not be released from the ovary. It can irritate the lining of the uterus so as to inhibit implantation. The beginning of birth. The newly created child then travels down the fallopian tube to the uterus or womb, where he or she implants. Implantation is necessary for the new child to receive nourishment from the mother and continue developing. The journey from the fallopian tube to the womb takes between 5 and 7 days, during which pregnancy cannot be readily detected. Therefore, if a woman ingests emergency contraception after fertilization has taken place, the 3rd mode of action can occur. The lining of the uterus can be altered, causing the woman's body to reject the living human embryo, making implantation impossible, and the child will die. This result is called a chemical abortion. Therefore, emergency contraception is an abortifacient. Abortifacient is an abortifacient. Two of the most commonly used emergency contraceptive pills are Previn and Plan B. The websites for both of these drugs clearly indicate that each can work to prevent a fertilized egg, which is actually a newly formed human being, from implanting in the uterine wall. Emergency contraception, as well as the Previn B and Previn as well as the Previn B and Plan websites contend that emergency contraception does not cause abortion. If you take away the nutrients required, the seed cannot live. They argue that emergency contraception prevents pregnancy and thereby reduces the need for induced abortion. However, they intentionally define the term pregnancy as implantation of a fertilized egg in the lining of a woman's uterus, as opposed to pregnancy beginning at fertilization. Politically correct. Whether one understands pregnancy as beginning at implantation or fertilization, the heart of the matter is when human life begins. It is important to keep in mind that scientists have confirmed that at the moment the sperm and the egg join, fertilization, a new human being is created who is completely different from his or her mother. This is not a subjective opinion, but an objective scientific fact. A San Francisco girl went to a Planned Parenthood clinic to quietly consider ways to handle a life change she wasn't ready for. 1 week later, the 18-year-old lay dying lay dying on an emergency room table, the victim of complications after she took the abortion pill. Her death has already caused her grief-stricken father to hope that the tragedy will encourage other women considering abortion to seek support, especially from their families. She visited a Planned Parenthood clinic September 10th to take the pill. She followed the prescribed procedure for using RU-486, taking 2 more pills at home in the following days. After experiencing bleeding and cramps so severe that she was unable to walk, her boyfriend rushed her to the hospital, where she was given painkillers and sent home. She was back in the hospital a few days later and died September 17th. Her dad said he learned from an attending physician at the hospital that she had died after a massive infection caused by fragments of the fetus left inside her uterus caused her to go into septic shock. Someone sexually active doesn't really know for sure whether or not they are pregnant. What I mean is they may have had sex for weeks and used a defective condom. They became pregnant, and then weeks later they have sex with sure knowledge the sperm sent into them. So now they go to get the morning after pill. Taking this pill while already pregnant can cause a lot of problems or even death. In Indiana, they are passing a law that says if you want to use the morning after pill, you must have an ultrasound or sonogram to see if you are already pregnant. A new baby seeking nutrients from the mother is in some ways starved by the mother. All this pill does is give teens and young women the freedom to have sex without consequences. The thing is, they are more concerned about having a baby than the STD or sexually transmitted disease that is possible through sex. After being raped is one thing, but then it opens the door to more use. Many times, all the drug companies see is dollar signs. The safeguards that are in place are not enough if someone dies or babies are aborted in taking this pill.